Right, yeah, in the crowd.
Yeah,
The shooter, yeah, they took out the shooter, and I'm, like, hey man, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Bro, you want to know what they did? You want to know what they did to get rid of him? They just threw a Plan B pack at him, and he was poof, he exploded. He was that young. Dude, he really did dodge some fetal alcohol syndrome 100%. Like, he owned the spectrum. He has real estate on the spectrum.
This is kind of back to my point about the media. I really think, just kind of looking at this kid and the information we know about him,
Yeah.
he should have been a school shooter. But that's so flavor of the week these days that
Wow. He had to go
you
for the
can't go
president?
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Dude.
think it was politically motivated at all. I think it was
I know you all...
chaos thing.
How
I
many
know you all
shoot your
relate
shot
to
puns
this.
can we start just like getting ourselves
Shoot your
canceled
shot.
by right now?
Dude, he... So, by the way, the information that I have heard about him, which is really not even like substantial because he didn't hold like a presence online really, is that he was super duper like
Red fucking
impressionable.
flag.
Like he
what
just
the-
he had a whole
Yeah.
bunch of it's like, bro, you're a manic individual. Like your parents should have known. People around you should have known. They should have been able to tell. You know, like that's
So
a
it's the
real
other-
fumble.
What's
It's a
the other
real
really
fumble.
funny thing is I've seen 0 articles or conversations about gun control since this happened. Have you guys
True.
seen anything?
I have not.
I
I,
have.
haven't seen any of
So
those.
You've seen
not
a
not
couple?
not in terms of articles because essentially like that's a whole rabbit hole. But I've gotten
But, like,
into
when there's
I,
a mass shooting, there's pages and pages.
right, but nobody
of-
cares
taking
about
one shot at
nobody
the
cares
president.
about guns. Guns kill people all the time, every day. Namely, also in minority-driven neighborhoods, which is a tragedy. But it's completely ignored by the media because it doesn't get clicks. And that big problem with the media is it's a click-driven business. They rely on that, and so if it's not like that's why it's like you hear more about the priest abuse within the Catholic Church, but then you go look at the numbers and you're like, oh, you're like
Those are
100,000.
evangelicals. Those aren't Christians.
No, it's not even like a Protestant, a Catholic thing. It's literally like if you go look in the public schools from the reporting of our own government, and it's like 100,000 to 1 odds that you're going to get molested in a public school than you are, by any kind of priest or authority figure. But
I want to know what those odds are with me being touched by the president. Maybe
Hey.
that's what this kid's beef was.
yeah, maybe.
He's like, hey, now it's my turn to touch you.
Have we looked into Epstein Island? Have we really dived in deep?
Dude, I don't know.
down that rabbit hole.
If it comes out that this was a kid at Epstein Island that Trump used to fuck, and this
How
was like
funny would that be, dude? What a bit.
I would be so happy.
Everybody, I think people would be like, I'm conflicted. You're like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it wasn't a political motivated hit, which we
This
should
was
always,
personal.
we always got to condemn, violent political acts. Absolutely not acceptable.
Mr.
Not
Trump, you're up 20 points with
Hey,
him.
but that is a really great point too, because like the gun argument aside, it's like usually when there is a young impressionable person who does something like this at any church, school, work office, parade, whatever, it's like where.
AR-15. AR-15 has been the big fucking hot.
Oh, and this was a bolt action rifle, and you think he gets a pass? Is that what
no,
it
this
is?
is an AR-15.
No, it was an AR-15.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, so from those, what was this range?
Guns
I'm
are
telling you,
cool.
do you remember how you guys were like, I want 3 months of rest where there's nothing happening, and then you were like, you can just stay offline. That's what I try to do every day, dude. I hear about things, but I don't really look into them. I don't care.
That too. I was.
That's why you're so young. That's why like your skin still looks so smooth.
I was at like an art festival.
You can wear it. You can wear it tomorrow.
But you're
And when I was at this festival, everyone's phones started pinging, and like the TVs at the cafes, like this was information that just pervaded outside the internet.
yeah.
And no one cares about Amber Alerts.
We've had events like that the past decade, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
Afghanistan, COVID. That's just
It's so tricky though. I didn't know I don't even know how far away he was at trying to
140
take-
yards.
with an AR-15 is insane. Like I understand that's why he missed, dude. Like
Oh, that's too far.
that's pretty distant. That's a pretty distant shot for an AR-15, especially if you're a 20-year-old kid. You don't have experience behind that like someone who could hit something from that distance. I mean, I don't know.
That's less than 2 football fields.
yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking though, like, why is nobody ripping up his parents? Why are nobody's talking with his parents?
I can't get on board with blaming parents
Not
right out the
blaming,
gate.
asking questions.
Well, they are absolutely talking.
I hope so.
If they're not, then I'm with you
We're
on
not
that.
hearing
man.
anything about it. Why
Well,
aren't we hearing them saying?
Whoa, I
That's
think
where like no matter what conspiracy theory, like ever since Epstein, we've talked about him earlier. Epstein has been the catalyst to take conspiracy theories, and it's like, oh shit, maybe that is true. You know, like you have this whole like thing going on over here. Maybe there is some, you know, secret child fucking society out there.
You know what's really scary? This is what I hate. I think back to the days of Vietnam with Jane Fonda, where the government really had gotten a political figure and a celebrity to go do endorsements and encouragements of like the decisions that we were getting on. And even Jane Fonda turned on that once she was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is my governing entity. This is what they wanted me to do. I don't agree with this. We shouldn't be here. There's that whole chain and in command how they're like, well, if we don't stop the spread of communism, you know, the dominoes will fall and it's just going to spread around. And it's like they're trying to like lead us in a way to tell us like we kind of know bigger things go on, and you know, we really needed you to just get people on board. And so I don't know, I don't really take anything, especially in government or in pop culture media news, for what it's worth at face value, because everything always comes out and flips itself up on its head, and it's like, damn dude,
even with science, like it's like, and 20 years later turns out coffee is good for you. Like you see those articles like written all the daggum time, and it's like, oh dude, gosh,
it's ridiculous. So it's like I hate to have to live in this society now where it's like, you know, we're looking at him as like a,
you can't ever be not paying attention, you know what I mean? Because
I know what you mean.
It starts to get you.
Oh, I mean, and honestly, I don't know.